Hello everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net. Okay, so let's start talking about the new and improved watch list that I put in. I've updated. This is the old one, the original one, found in this course here under Algo Trading Components. This used MongoDB as the backend. As you can see here, right here, Module 5. And part of my system, the watch list, used MongoDB as the backend, but I've now improved it and replaced all my databases with just one, Redis. I'll show you why in a minute. But this particular script is the watch list. So the watch list is fairly important for a number of reasons. Now, here's the source code. It's a fairly simple script. Nothing fancy, but I'll be putting out a new video on this next week because today is August 18th, 2017, and essentially that script is in allergies. Woo. Okay, excuse me there. All right, so at the end of the day, what we got here is we're using Redis, our current version 3.26, and I'll talk about Redis 4 in a minute. But essentially what I've got here is I've got a key store called Watchlist, and right now I've just got two assets called IBM and Apple. So if I add one more, so just do an L push into the watch list, and I'll put in, let's say, Amazon. Okay. Watch list. All right. Okay, I am not doing too good today. No. Watch list. AMZN. Okay, cool. So what I have here is just the watch list script, and what this will do. First, let me tell you what the watch list does. The watch list is basically a database, or considered a database, but just key values. Using the watch list here as a key in Redis, and then we have some documents, we could call them, in memory. So if I just do an L range, just to show you what's in the watch list. Okay, so these are all the values in the watch list: IBM, Apple, and Amazon. So when I run it, what it will do is it will download from Yahoo each one, which is now in a Python data frame, and then I'll cycle through each one and grab the data of whatever I want, and it will run a signal against that data. So what it will do is it will calculate a moving average, and it'll do the usual long moving average versus the short moving average, do a cross, and then generate a trading signal to buy or sell. That's all that little embedded strategy does. This whole video will walk you through. It's about half an hour. And I'll do that for each asset. So you can see here, IBM sell. For this one, it said Amazon buy and Apple buy. Simple stuff like that. But what the powerful thing about this watch list is that you can set in your watch list Python script, you can have it run, download the data, and then be able to run a basic script or basic logic against that data as it downloads it. Nothing earth-shattering for sure, but the idea is to run a bunch of filters or trading logic against that data set to generate a trading signal. And if it does, and if you saw my other video on how to interface your trading signals with your broker, in my case, I am planning to use Dukascopy for Forex. So I've got a whole video on that. I just put up earlier today, 20-minute video showing the power of that. And then in there, I'm going to have a bonus video going out next week, a 90-minute one to show you how the overall architecture works and a demonstration of it with, again, a code walkthrough. With the Python, there's actually two Java jar classes that are used for Dukascopy, and they work with the Dukascopy API. And then using Redis, the NoSQL database, it'll send messages and data through message queue into Redis, and then have the Python run against it to generate trading scripts, and then have an order, or sorry, a trading signal pushed into Redis. And then at the other end, in your JForex platform, you can have a listener listening to that data, and then when it sees a buy signal or a sell signal, it will submit the order right on the fly, right within JForex. So it's a very simple architecture, but it works, and it works really well, and it's fast. Now, I'm going to expand on that. So even though this demo is very simple, the powerful thing about the watch list is if you've seen the available asset instruments. So let's say for Dukascopy, and again, I've said this before, your data, what you're watching and what you're going to put trades on is limited to what is available through your broker. Obviously, interactive brokers, there's thousands upon thousands of different instruments that you can trade with, but Dukascopy, because they're Forex and CFD only, obviously it limits on what you can trade. Okay, let me just put the. But the advantage of using Dukascopy over any other broker, even including interactive brokers, is that you can start with literally nothing, like 100. I think it's 100 Swiss francs. So that's good. I do have some pretty positive impressions of Dukascopy. Now, back to the watch list. You can trade and set up different watch lists in Python, running it against Redis, because again, Redis is an open source database with no limitations at all. You get all the source code. It's not a freemium type of open source database like MongoDB, where if you want to get the in-memory capabilities, you got to spend 10 grand to get the features of that through Mongo. Here with Redis, you get all that free. It's open source. It's true open source, and it's fast. So if you look at what's available on Dukascopy, you have commodities. Not much. I think you only have 4, but you have the major ones that move the most. Obviously, oil. You have gas and copper. Then you have the indices of all the stock market. Now, if you are like me and you follow Bloomberg News and you watch what I post on my Instagram, among the thousands of charts on there, what you'll notice is there's not a lot of micro set of assets or instruments. They're like, when I'm meaning micro, I'm meaning like stocks. Like you'll get the big ones like Apple, Tesla, and some other ones, like some in the banking industry. But usually you're going to be focusing more on indices, so S&P 500 and some of the other big countries. So here we have Switzerland, UK, Japan, France, Germany, Hong Kong, EU, which is, I believe, the top 50. Usually it's a stock 600, Spain, and Australia. And that's all we really have, as well as we have the tech and the 500, and it looks like the 330. So some of these indices are kind of weird, but whatever. And then you have stocks, which are against CFDs, but I don't see myself playing, trading in that realm. A lot of it's European based. And there are also metals. Now, let me just show you the metals list. Okay, I don't think there's much, but so if we look at the metals, you'll find that all we really have, I think it's just gold and silver. I think. I will admit that Oanda does have a better selection on that. Let's see. Let me just put metals. Okay. Let me just confirm that. And then we also have agriculture, which can be the odd surprise. So actually, this might be a better one. Okay, if you come under here under margin, there should be gold and silver. So actually, we have some more other options here. We have gas, and that's pretty well it. But anyways, forget that. So the watch list will be able to segregate out by asset class. We could also segregate the watch list by geography, maybe certain performance. And what the watch list is just a collection of instruments that we want to watch, so that we tell the system saying watch these, and we'll put these strategies in place, these filters, and as the data comes in 24/7 or however long I run the system, that watch list will then trigger buying signals for that set of data. And that's all stored within the trading script as well as in the database for Redis NOSQL. That's the whole point of it. And the idea is to keep it simple. So that's what the idea of the watch list is. It's pretty well the nerve center of the entire system, because we have the idea added to the watch list. And if the idea does not take hold over a period of 3 months, whatever I want to set it at, it drops it off. So it's not chewing up all the resources of the system. Or because it's Redis, I could just scale it out and add more software and operating systems and processors and hardware and da-da-da. So there's a lot of flexibility there. Now let's talk about Redis 4. Actually, I'm going to do a separate video on that. All right, so hopefully you'll watch that one later.